Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of 10 Minute Marvel. Today we're going to be talking for our main topic about what Sam Wilson's new Avengers team is going to look like, most likely for Doomsday and Secret Wars, plus Daredevil Born Again coming out this week, so I'm sure we'll have some to chat about with that, and the news and rumors as always. So, I'm Petter. I'm mayor of New York City, dealing with my frenemy co-host.
Fre- Frenemy co-host. Man, you didn't leave me much there for Wilson Fisk reference.
Uh, nope.
Um, I am the Vanessa to his Wilson. It's Greg, everybody.
Well, good job.
Yeah, thanks. Whew, got it. Thanks for coming back. It's nice to have you guys here listening. We can't really watch us yet. Maybe someday,
Maybe.
but I need to get more handsome. So, if you're looking for ways to support us, you can find us on our YouTube channel. Search 10 Minute Marvel there. Give us a like and thumb smash that subscribe button. That is always much appreciated. Find and follow us on Facebook and that other thing called X, Twix, whatever you want to call it. It's a hellhole. And of course, you can leave a rating and review wherever you get your friendly neighborhood podcast from. So,
Yes.
I really I still want to say something every time, and I just won't. I won't. What do we got today, Peter? What's happening this
So
week?
rumors, it's a lighter week for news and rumors. Though I think in the news there are a couple of like bigger things to talk about. First off, Marvel, this is I believe according to Daniel RPK, Marvel is looking to cast a male agent for a significant role in Avengers Doomsday.
A male agent.
Yeah, I'm like, with what group?
Like
A
just an
multiversal
agent.
sword? Or a multiversal shield, sword. Ooh, yeah, what are we talking about
Aim.
here?
Uh
Hydra?
I mean, I don't know, just put the guy from Community back in. I That makes more sense to me than just going new, I guess. Whatever. Good for that guy.
Yeah.
It's like, isn't there like an agent that always kind of, there's a couple probably people like this, but I swear like Marvel's got some agent that pops up all the time. It's referenced often.
I mean, there's Hydra Bob.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. Hydra Bob. That sounds
It's
good.
very
Yeah,
Deadpool-esque
yeah.
character. Yeah.
Well, he's already in it. Wasn't he in it already? He
Yeah.
was in, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay.
was in one of them.
Well, then we need to cast a new person. Good thing they're
Yeah.
on top of that. Good job, Marvel.
So, also, this one came out that Blade is moving forward. Again, obviously, it was never canceled or anything like that. It was just us waiting till we get the script right. And it sounds like from this rumor stated that Kevin Feige and Mahershala Ali are both on board with the current version of the script.
Wow. That's amazing.
Hmm.
I dare not say a word. I guess I don't know. Um, good,
Yeah.
good. It's one of those things like you're like, okay. I mean, if that's like if Feige's on board, if that's like the official
Hmm.
thing that's come out and released, and for sure, sweet. Glad they got it done. Glad they pushed through.
Yes. Yep.
On to Midnight Suns,
Yes. Or X-Men or
or
whatever else is next.
yeah,
Black Panther 3 and Doctor Strange 3 and all these other things that,
Punisher presentation. Oh,
yep,
did I give that one away?
we'll be talking about that in the news.
Okay,
So next rumor has the Daphne Keane back for Doomsday as X-23,
lovely.
wearing the yellow suit look. So
Interest. Okay, all right.
yeah, I,
That's
I'd be pleased to have her back, and I'd be pleased to have her be a Wolverine in some universe, or maybe even to kind of be stepping into that role from like Deadpool's universe, where Wolverine just kind of wants to fade into the back.
Yeah, it's I'm just trying to imagine her as a kid. It was she had that grit about her that was kind of scary,
Hmm.
like when in Logan. And it was really good. Like I really appreciate that. I didn't see that too much in Deadpool and Wolverine. She was a little bit more soft. So it just makes me kind of like
Yeah, it's
I kind of want the
also
old one back, the younger version back. But
yeah, it's also Deadpool and Wolverine
right.
too. So
Yeah, she's not gonna steal the show on that. Or I mean it's not
yeah,
it's not a
tonally,
23 centric storyline, right? So
yeah, yep, and it's a comedy. So are they going to have her? You already had Wolverine playing the super gritty, like gruff
Yeah,
character, so it made sense that you didn't want to duplicate the same thing.
she got well adjusted in the void. She
Yeah.
sought treatment. So that's good.
Hmm.
Therapy, whatever.
Yeah. From who?
Good.
I'm not sure.
I mean,
Everybody she's with, I think, would have been a bad influence on her.
yeah. I
Johnny
mean, my
Storm, not great.
not great. Nope. Would there be? I mean, Cassandra
Gambit.
Nova would have been a terrible, terrible choice, but
Hmm.
I feel like she could have really helped massage the brain a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. And then final rumor has a runtime for Thunderbolts Asterisk of 2 hours and 20 minutes.
I love that. I love
Hmm.
long Marvel movies. I don't know, because it's not long to me.
Yeah, and that one's, I mean, that's really not that long. I think kind of that 2 to 2.5 hour range is probably where the majority land.
Yeah.
And yeah, that it feels like it gives enough time for a story to breathe and characters to develop. And
hmm
I mean, I'm still very excited for this one.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yes. News-wise, Daredevil Born Again starts Wednesday.
That's crazy. I
Hmm. We are no longer in February.
that's crazy too.
Mhm.
I
So,
it's kind of one of those things like it seemed like for me it took a while to get there. I really was, but I knew that Spider-Man was happening, and so
mhm.
that filled the void, which was a great filler.
Yes.
And I feel like this last week was kind of tough. Like I didn't have that little Marvel content, and I knew
Hmm.
that Daredevil Born Again was coming, so I got some anticipation hype right now going for it.
Yeah. Yeah, my hype level is still kind of middling on it. I'm definitely excited for it, but it's one of those I want to see it at this point in time, but I'm not like okay, completely head over heels.
Is it
Like,
because of the Netflix version that you watched only a few episodes of and then watched the
yeah,
YouTube summarization of it?
that combined with just I like I said, I think I'm more interested in Fisk at this moment than I am in Daredevil. So, not a bad thing. It's just I I've had more chance to get on board with Fisk
Yeah.
with D'Onofrio's character.
Uh, yeah, I could see that. Charlie Cox, I think, has done a superb job, and
Hmm.
so I'm looking forward to the struggles he's going to go through, I think, and he brings a lot of depth to the character, which is great. So,
Yeah. Yep.
or brings out the character because I think Daredevil already had depth in the
Yeah.
comic.
Yep. No, and they have said that the title of Born Again is much more specific and in reference to the fact that it's the show coming back, not redoing some of the comic or story beats that they've already done from the Born Again storyline. So
Okay.
it'll be interesting to see if there are some people who are frustrated with that, not knowing that going in,
Right.
or yeah, just to see what that will entail.
Yeah, because I think it's a popular storyline,
Yeah,
right? And so I could see people getting a little upset about because they want to see it, but
but it was already basically done, at least to some extent, in I believe the
season two
yeah,
of the Netflix series, yeah, it kind of was. I would agree. So I think I'm okay with it.
yeah,
I don't think it's going to be a problem.
yeah. And having read the Born Again storyline in the comics, I thought it was solid, but it felt more like a we kind of want to reset, refocus this character
Hmm,
sort of
sure.
thing, versus like, eh,
Not
I
like a
guess I
time
could,
runs out kind of thing, or
right.
that epic or
I could compare it to like the Jeff Lemire Moon Knight stuff, where it's the asylum sort of stuff that we saw, where it's kind of is that reset for the character. Not so it's not a bad thing, and it's a good thing for people who maybe haven't read all the comics. It creates that jumping in again point
sure.
for it. So, um, but beyond that, with Daredevil news, a new cast member has been added. Matthew Lillard, Shaggy himself.
Yes. Jinkies? No. Zoinks?
Roro.
Ruh-roh, yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. I don't
Yeah.
know, whatever. It's a weird, I don't know, some people like got maybe excited about this. So I'm like, okay.
To
I
me, it's
don't
like I don't know because I haven't watched enough of his movies.
I mean Scream, like
Yeah.
I don't find him that intriguing of an actor.
Hmm.
So maybe he's, I just don't, I don't think it's gonna be a big part. I think it's gonna be something fairly simple. He maybe will play kind of a D-bag character or a little bit of comic relief or
He feels like the type of person who could play a lousy superhero who Murdoch has to defend for some reason or something like that.
yeah, I feel like
Or
he,
a B-rate like villain who keeps on popping up.
yeah,
They hadn't already done what, Frogman?
yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I
That
was
sort of
thinking.
character.
Why is it we both thought of Frogman right away?
Well, because Daredevil's and She-Hulk, so
Yeah, that might be it.
yeah.
Well, good on you, Shag.
Yeah. But then we also got some information around the Wonder Man show from Brad Winderbaum in an interview that it's 8 episodes ranging from 20 to 40 minutes in episode length, which is pretty much in line with Agatha, because Agatha had that very short episode in there too.
Yeah.
It all
I don't know.
depends.
I don't, yeah. I, if you, Agatha did a pretty good job of completing the episodes,
Yeah.
like telling a good story in that
The,
amount of time. Um, like, I'm trying to think of other episodes of like, what were some, I'm trying to think of another one that, I mean, Secret Invasion was sometimes that, but that's a totally different thing.
Yep. WandaVision was generally that about 30, like 25 to 30 minutes.
That
And
was good
then,
though. Like, they
yep,
did a pretty good job of to front to back on that one.
yep.
Hawkeye was decent as well,
Mhm.
right? I don't know. Sometimes
I'm
it
not,
just feels like it's a little empty, or it's too short, or they. But
mhm. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where because they have the freedom to cut it like they want, and to say, you know what, these 10 minutes that we could stick with this episode make are more impactful in the next episode or in the previous episode. That's why you get such a variance in length. It's because you don't have to figure for 42 minutes or 40 minutes if it's an hour long show, or 22 minutes if it's a half-hour long show for television, because you're not dealing with commercials and all that jazz. So any show on streaming is going to have more of that variance in episode length.
yeah, I think the other one was She-Hulk for me. Like
Yeah,
they felt really brief,
they were. And that one was intentionally short episodes because it was supposed to kind of be that.
and it was like mixed up. Like the order, like things got really
Yeah.
edited
Well, I think it was just
in
the one
reverse.
episode.
Was it? I
No.
thought it was like I thought they.
No, it's just the first episode. Well, there was supposed to be a later on episode where the one where she got her powers, where we saw how she got her powers,
Oh,
and
right.
then that got moved up. Which it She-Hulk was interesting because, and I'm not worried about kind of the She-Hulk thing with Wonder Man, is because She-Hulk was really trying to be that single female lawyer. Um,
Yeah.
from Futurama. No, yeah, like that sort of show where it was mainly supposed to be one episode, one case, or one thing happening, and then a few like little things straggle around, which they did, and then mixed in larger like storyline elements in some of the episodes. So it just felt inconsistent, but it also probably felt more like it should have been a hey, we're setting up a series for a number of seasons on CBS as a comedy versus a Marvel show.
Yeah, I worried a little bit about it just Wonder Man being in that same vein. For whatever, I don't know. It's just maybe it's just because they're two characters and
In LA. I mean,
yeah, and maybe more comedy driven, I think Wonder
yeah.
Man might be. And I don't know. I could be completely way off base here and that it may not be the case at all. It just to me feels like those two are are similar when the run times are like that. Kind of, I
Yeah,
don't know what
though.
they're gonna like. The She-Hulk didn't really have it. It was those episodes a week. Wonder Man is just kind of a big mystery as to what they're gonna do with this character. Who's super
Yeah.
powerful. I don't know.
Yeah, so Brad Winderbaum did have a quote on it. I don't have like the full quote here, so there's a chunk probably where he added some flavor or something in the middle that was chopped out of this quote, but it's a very new flavor for Marvel. It's a love letter to acting as a profession, and it's a very sincere, beautiful show. So to me that says it's it's not going to play for the single episode standalone comedy.
Yeah, when the way that's phrased, it seems like when it's like an ode to acting, kind of
Hmm.
it seems like some of those rumors of him struggling as an actor, or maybe
Yeah.
he's,
Well,
he just can't land the part or whatever, and it's like
mhm.
that's the real look at acting. I mean, there's thousands of people out there that audition
Yeah.
and they don't do well, and they struggle, and they're barely making ends meet, if at all, maybe not even. So I just kind of wondered, I didn't know that it was going to be more of that sincere
Yeah.
side to this story. So I'm a little more interested in see what they do with that.
Hmm. Like I do fully expect, considering you have Trevor Slattery in the show, that there's going to be comedic elements to it. But that's true for, I mean, WandaVision is a very sincere, heartfelt
Right.
show that has a lot of comedy
Hmm.
in it, just because of how that show is structured. And same, I mean, same even for Agatha.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So, like Marvel can do that well. So I'm excited for that.
Hmm.
But looking further ahead on the Marvel calendar to 2026, we know of three things that are supposed to be coming out, at least according to this is again from Brad Winderbaum. A Punisher special presentation. Um, Sounds like John Barenthal is at least consulting on the writing
Yeah.
of it. Uh,
Uh, I think he's got a pretty good grasp of the character at this point. I think
yeah,
and being what I've seen him do in The Bear,
yeah,
I feel like he knows how to I capture what Punisher has been about and is about, and not necessarily give it a new twist, but continue giving it a fresh look.
yeah,
So,
yep. So that's a special presentation, obviously, that Brad Winderbaum had hinted at that we talked about a little while ago, unless they're going to spring something else on us that they've already filmed. But I suspect that this is what he was talking about.
have they filmed this yet, or are they going
No,
to do it during season two?
I'm assuming that they're either going to do it during season two or it might have its own filming schedule for this because it depends on, I guess, on how much crossover you want, where the script is at this point,
Hmm.
because I don't know that the script is done and season two has started filming. So,
Okay. And then I don't know. I haven't seen season three of The Bear, but I'm assuming if he is in that, he'll maybe continue being in the fourth season, which I heard was greenlit too.
okay.
So squeezing that in. So yeah, I would
Yeah.
think that maybe season two here for Daredevil is where
They'll try and film
yeah.
as well. Though a special presentation, especially something for like the Punisher versus special presentation Guardians of the Galaxy, much smaller scale and potentially, I mean, fewer big names that you have to work around. So it'd be easier, I think, to get him back to do that
Yeah,
because who knows if D'Onofrio or Cox or who is going to be in it.
right. I'm really hoping it's a good like hour. Like, you know.
Yeah, 40 like 45 minutes to an hour and 5, hour and 10.
Hmm.
Kind of seems to be where I want those special presentations
Yep.
to kind of land. But then also season twos, a couple season twos coming next year.
Hmm.
X-Men 97 and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Two furs. Um, that's good. That's fun.
Yes.
We had a talk of the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man last week. Check that out. That was
Hmm.
we both were very, very pleased with how that landed. And yeah, like you were saying, you may find that to be above X-Men 97. So
Hmm.
in those rankings, which we'll get to some rankings eventually here again, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to those.
Yes. Yeah. 100% on board with season twos of both of those. Uh, but before we get into our main topic, any kind of thoughts, anything on Daredevil Born Again and what we're hoping for in this season? Anything
Um,
like that?
I think from what they did, from the writing style that I'm assuming is kind of carrying over from the Netflix
Hmm.
side, I'm not worried about that attachment to characters. I feel like that'll still stand and be there. Um, and some of those gut punches and just all those feelings that you have for some of the characters and how brutal some of the fight scenes are. I know that's probably going to still be in there. Great fight scenes.
Hmm.
Um, even maybe even a little bit more harsh possibly. But I think what I'm looking for is I love being at the seat of my at the seat of my pants. No,
Edge of
that's
the
not
seat
the edge of the seat of my pants.
with John Malkovich.
I love at the end of the episode craving for what's going to happen. Like so,
Hmm.
you know, give me that maybe that's because I'm in severance mode right now and I just like I the episode ends I'm like holy crap I need next Friday to happen again but just a little bit of that because um I don't know some good cliffhangers that's just kind of what I'm looking for to really pull me through.
Yeah, for me, I think I want them to do a little bit of a reintroduction of the characters. Um, because I do think there will be a number of people who will watch this show who haven't seen the characters like much before. If they've seen them before, it's because Daredevil was in She-Hulk, Echo, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
D'Onofrio was in Echo. And I mean, well, we both like Echo. I know that that was not necessarily one of the most watched Disney Plus shows. So just do a little bit of work to reintroduce the characters and kind of reset, reframe who they are, especially since I think there have been some rumors that we may hear about the blip and who was blipped, who wasn't, that sort of stuff in uh at least from this side of things in the episodes. So if
Mhm.
it delves into that, I think they have the ability there to like do that not nice soft relaunch of the
And
characters.
so like current like you want to be reintroduced to Foggy and Karen and
Right.
obviously Matt and a little bit obviously I think we and like some gentle cameos such as but not, obviously we have the Punisher so like I don't want She-Hulk either but it's just some little bit of crossovers that happen maybe we get
Right.
Avengers Tower even we see that
Avengers
at some point.
Tower, yeah. The swordsman's supposed to be in this.
Yeah.
Like the
um
swordsman doesn't necessarily know who these characters players are necessarily, or he does, but when you introduce the swordsman back in, have kind of that "who are you" moment for the swordsman to Matt Murdock as Daredevil, and Matt can just kind of say, remind people like what Daredevil's kind of mission is,
yeah.
and just so that especially too if they do touch on like the snap or anything like that where say Foggy and Karen were snapped, then just kind of for them no time has passed, but what like Matt almost has to restart his friendships, his relationships with them because he's moved on. He had to assume that they weren't coming back for
Mhm.
5 years. So what does that look like? That sort of thing. So,
Yeah. What about even like we get a hint of Bucky in there? He is in
yeah.
Congress now, I guess.
Or
Mayor
it
Fisk will
might
be
be
mayor.
soon. Yeah.
Yeah. And Anthony Mackie. I mean, they're just like it doesn't have to be much
Hmm.
or even a mention. I don't know. Just I'd
Yeah.
like to finally see some interweaving because Daredevil's now in
MCU.
the MCU, so I'd like to see a little bit of that. Like he's immersed in what has already happened, like the blip.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Or like a reference to,
Wakanda.
well, no, I was thinking to like the Sokovia Accords,
Sure.
um, where since Fisk seems to be running on this idea of why are we relying on vigilantes to police our streets,
Yeah.
sort of thing. So just to touch on some of those historical events, but also more so, I think, just with the characters. Um, I hope the show doesn't make the assumption that people have watched the Netflix shows.
Yeah. Oh, Valentina, maybe. Sorry, I'm just thinking
Yeah,
other characters.
yeah,
Daredevil versus a Black Widow, like
yeah.
Yelena. Who wins?
I mean, if it's Yelena, that is a good question. Um, if it's one of the other ones,
Right.
then Daredevil. It's when you have a named widow.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay. I have
So
other ones,
let's,
but I'll save
yeah,
those for our another time.
yeah. So let's move on to our main topic here, talking about who, and this was hinted at, not hinted at, it was explicitly said in Captain America: Brave New World. Sam's like, I'm gonna need to put together a new, or like an Avengers team again.
I had a little trouble with this, just a little
hmm
bit.
It's
Um,
tricky. I like that's why I said let's have a conversation on this because it's a limited pool in an interesting way, and I think there's some characters who I'm like, I don't think they're going to be in it.
it
Like,
almost, yeah, it almost feels like. Do you think they're gonna do the two teams again? Space? In my brain, it was like the Earth Avengers,
hmm
and then maybe there's. I don't know if there'll be an Avengers team in space, but I guess I started dividing them up like that. Like who's gonna be on the ground, who's gonna be up in space? Because I
yeah,
figured there's gonna be a little bit of that going on, but
right.
it seems like dangerously close to kind of what was happening in Endgame. So
Yeah, well,
Infinity
I
War and
don't think
Endgame.
there's going to be more. I don't think there's so much going to be a space team, at least in the way that we had the space team in Endgame. I do think there might be different team facing off against different kind of threats. Like, is there a team of Thor and Captain Marvel and I don't know who else looking to stop the incursion, whereas Sam's team is looking to face off against Doom,
Right.
something like that.
Yeah. So it doesn't have, yeah, it's more the cosmic
Yeah.
handlings and then more what's happening, saving the people kind of thing.
hmm
Like, I don't know. Are they going to
Yeah.
have, I don't know how they're going to do that. Whatever.
Yeah.
But so I think we're safe to say that Sam,
Yes. Yep.
Captain America, is in the Avengers group. So how many roughly did you come up with? I'm just curious.
Um, I mean, I didn't really create a list. I was just kind of thinking about
Okay.
it. And in my brain, it was kind of hit that 6 to 8 range
Okay.
of
I
people because that's what the original team was ish when you added in Vision, and it grew beyond that, but
Yeah. I have about nine.
yeah,
So, and it could grow a little bit too, but
it's yeah, especially if they bring in Kate Bishop, Hawkeye. Do you have
okay.
yeah, let's start there.
Okay. So I'm gonna dangle a little question in front of you here a little bit
Yes.
so you can to hold on for later. Which of these people that we go through is going to be the most likely to die?
Okay. Good
So,
question. Yes.
because I feel like I mean a lot of people are going to die, but like who's the one that's going to probably be done?
hmm
You know what I mean? Like maybe it doesn't come back. So we'll wait till later on that one. That'll be a
Yes.
nice way to wrap this up. But um, here, what do you think about Thor?
Thor, I don't think is. Ooh, actually,
Because I think they're gonna try and harness the old as much of the old team as they can to get people and get butts in seats because that's they want it to do well.
mhm.
And people recognize the old Avengers. So,
Yeah. I well, I don't think Thor is going to be part of this new Avengers team. I was thinking about it and like I tossed him into that kind of cosmic
mhm.
side of things, and I don't know that they're going to bring him in, though Chris Hemsworth I guess maybe it's a better thing to say with the three remaining OG Avengers because it's there's White Vision, but OG Avengers. So Hulk,
Right.
Hawkeye, and Thor, how many of them are we going to get on this new Avengers team? Because I don't think we're going to get Hulk.
Really?
No, because I don't think Hulk wants to be an Avenger anymore. I think Smart Hulk, Bruce Banner, kind of wants to be that supporting role.
I don't disagree with that, but at the same time, I'm gonna step out of the fantasy world and go into like what is Marvel wanting? They want to get people to come to these movies, and Hulk brings people into the seats.
Yeah.
So this is where it was hard for me to try and figure out would they do this or not. And I feel like they would bring Hulk back.
Well, I think Banner Hulk would be in the movie.
Okay.
I don't think he's part of the Avengers team.
Okay. So that's where okay, this is where I needed some definition because I don't exactly know. Is it we're talking cameos? So we maybe need to just say cameo, right?
Yeah.
Cameo in the loosest sense, just
Mhm.
to define it. And then actually on the team.
Yeah.
Like we're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
see
what
them going forward. Okay.
well, see them going forward, but more so see them being part of the group that is being led by Sam Wilson's Captain America. Whether or not, because whether or not they make it out of this movie, to your question of who's going to die, who knows? But are they going to be part of this group that Sam Wilson brings together? And I think he goes to Hulk, but I think Hulk turns him down.
Uh, but man, I don't know. I just can't imagine them not having. I mean, I get that he wouldn't be an Avenger, but you got to do something with Hulk.
Right. Well, and Hulk would be probably the team of people like Hulk. Toss out the name here. Will she or will she not be on this team? Shuri, because you could have Hulk and Shuri be dealing like trying to understand the phenomena of the incursion that's occurring. At
Right.
which point they they might be like the dudes in the chair kind of thing, but they're not like part of the punchy kicking fighting team.
Okay. I can see that. I
I think that Shuri probably will be part of the team. Like she'll be the one who kind of goes between the uh the science
yeah.
side and the punchy kicky fighting side.
But how do you not have Hulk involved in a world-ending event? Like is Bruce
Well,
Banner that like
he's involved in the world
well,
ending event,
his
but
brain. Yeah.
yeah, until the point that like they actually understand that Doom is causing this and punchy fighting occurs, like it's an incursion. You need Hulk's brain or Banner's brain more than you need his brawn, and for that reason, I don't think he'd be part of a team. Say the incursion's occurring, we see a second Earth. I don't think he's going to be a part of a team that goes to the second Earth.
Okay. I I can agree with that, I think. That he would yeah, he's gonna try and think it out instead of do the punchy kicky fighty
Hmm.
stuff. Okay. All right. So Hulk, no.
Yeah.
Thor, I mean, if he didn't protect Earth last time. He was
Hmm.
kind of off and doing his own thing, but now, I mean, we
He
have
didn't and did.
he did it right. He kind of came back when he was needed, which is great. But
Yeah.
will he leave with Jane? Well, Jane's gone.
Yeah.
She's dead.
She's dead. She's in Valhalla. Um, but he
So
has love.
right. And would
And
he put her on Earth at that point? I don't think he would. I
yeah,
think he would.
I think he'll be a character. Well,
I mean,
from
cosmically, is it any better to go out?
yeah,
I
right.
don't
It
know.
doesn't make any difference. If the incursion happens, the universe ends. But I think it's, I think he's going to be another one of those. I think he's going to do the I show up again sort of role.
Hmm. Kind of hope
Where,
that's not the case. I don't want,
yeah,
it seems too redundant.
hmm
So,
or
but
maybe it is like a, yeah, he doesn't show up again, and like Doom snatches him before or something like that.
But no, but there is a Thor movie that is yet to come out. Like they're right.
Right.
Weren't they going to do it at four at some point?
Uh, five.
Five,
Right.
two.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they definitely set it up for something with Hercules, but when like I would say obviously that's not occurring prior to Doomsday and unlikely to be occurring prior to Secret Wars.
Yeah.
At which case, it, you decide. Like
Right.
if you want to do a Thor 5 or just kind of let that hang out there and have him show up for team up movies.
Yeah. All
I
right.
think,
Well,
yeah, I think he could show up, but it's tricky because he's not on Earth right now.
yeah, he can get out pretty easily. I mean,
Yeah.
well,
No, he can't escape what's happening. But
no, I mean, he can usually use the
yeah,
well, Heimdall's not there, but
hmm Axel is.
Axel's there. Oh yeah, that's right. Good old Axel.
Yes.
Um, all right, well then let's move it. We got Hawkeye is the other OG, right?
hmm
Um,
I think he actually might be the one who joins reluctantly, like later.
yeah, yeah. I'm thinking Jeremy Renner himself, like I know he's come a long way since his accident, but how much more is he wanting to do of these movies?
hmm
So, I'm just wondering how much of a part he'll play if he's really gonna be, I want to stay with my family for no matter what happens. I want to stay with my family, but here's this really good Hawkeye right over here and
Yeah.
Kate Bishop, right?
Yeah. Well, that is definitely an interesting thing. It's like that is a natural transition potentially over to it, but also there's been rumors of the Hawkeye season two, but that Hawkeye season two wouldn't come out
Hmm.
before Doomsday, most likely, unless Doomsday got pushed.
Right.
So,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know what to do with this guy.
hmm
Do you want him in it? How about that?
Um, I think he returns.
Okay.
I think that he returns, and
And you want that.
yeah, and I think we maybe even get Mockingbird.
Okay. I
Like,
don't think they'll do Mockingbird. I think that's, I mean,
uh,
I wish they would do something with Mockingbird, but I don't think it's going to be in this
but
movie.
I think it's the come out of retirement sort of thing in this moment of need. Like they come back in at that final moment of, hey, we need to go face off, figure out what's going on with this other world, and Bruce can tell them basically like, yeah, the if we don't do something, like there's no protecting your family unless we stop this somehow.
I could see her being like they do something, but it ends up on
Mhm.
the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
okay, I got I got more characters.
hmm So
Um,
right now the team doesn't really have
it does not
anybody.
exist.
Yes, it has Sam.
We got Sam. Sam's struggling.
Yeah.
Everybody's got things to do or places to go.
Yeah.
Um, I had Bucky
hmm
as an
Uh-huh.
Avenger. Um,
Yeah, I think he would join.
well, okay. I was
Or
trying to,
is he running the Thunderbolts?
yeah, right. Okay. I gotta put my head back in the concept that we defined as the new Avengers and not just
In this movie.
in the movie, right?
Right. He's going to be in the movie, but is he part of the Avengers team?
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna push Bucky up to the side. Spider-Man, what do you think? Can they do him as an Avenger at this point, or we got Sony problems again?
Sony's not a huge problem with this. Does nobody knows how to get a hold of Spider-Man? That's a
Right.
huge problem.
But I mean, he's web slinging around. You should be
hmm
able to get him some, at least get his attention somehow. I know that they can't call him by name, but um,
Right.
I still think
I
he would be an Avenger. I think for sure he is with Sam.
I'm gonna say no. I'm saying
Okay.
no because because Spider-Man 4 is supposed to come out after Doomsday. So I
Late
think
arrival? I mean, I don't know.
maybe granted it could be it could be the late arrival because you think about Ant-Man and the Wasp. That one like came out in between uh wow, my brain's on fire like yours. Infinity Wars and
It's a
Endgame.
dumpster fire, typically.
And that one obviously ends at the same moment that Infinity War ends. Basically, everybody being blipped. So it's possible that there's some crossover and Spider-Man comes in at the last moment, and then we see what the Spider-Man movies, we see what he's doing on ground level during that time. But, or Spider-Man 4 is a Battle World movie. Certainly possible too. And like he
Yeah,
gets split off from the team somehow or escapes to Battle World somehow, like Miles does.
right. Wanted that hamburger.
hmm
Um, okay. I see the problem in that. Okay, how about these two?
All
Shang-Chi
right.
and Wong.
Wong, no. Shang-Chi, yes.
Why is Wong wrong? Wrong, Wong. Wong wrong?
Uh, because that is true. Actually, I'm gonna go with Wong, yes. Now I'm thinking about it because I don't think Doctor Strange is gonna be.
Right, he's off with Clea.
Yep. So yeah, let's do Wong, yes, for a magic user, since I don't think we don't have Scarlet Witch, and Shang-Chi, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Shang-Chi is pretty much a solid yes for me. Wong, I could see where you're second guessing that. But I thought so what I was thinking of in at the end of Shang-Chi, we have Bruce, Captain Marvel,
And Wong.
uh, and Wong, right? Is there a
hmm
fourth?
Katie's there,
Oh yeah. Well,
but no, there's no other person
so
on the screen. Yeah.
okay. So yeah, Wong, I thought that they needed to fill in that sorcerer,
hmm
and Wong is so beloved by so many people.
Yeah.
So um
And there's no other sorcerers out
right.
there. Like you're not going to bring in America Chavez or
Yeah,
Ned.
she's having a hard time with the sling ring still.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
um,
Madison.
what?
No.
Yeah, yeah, she's perfect.
Yeah.
Uh, she gets better with magic with each drink that she has.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So what do we thought another person on my list that I have is Shuri, which we kind of talked about. So Black Panther. I feel
Mhm.
like Black Panther is going to be a yes. I
Yeah, I
didn't say
think
that
it's going to
before,
be.
but
I think it's going to be a yes, and will kind of be that connection to like a Banner too. Like
yeah.
she'll go work with Banner for a little bit, potentially during the movie.
Okay. Do you think think Vision will end up there? I don't know. I couldn't figure this one out.
So much of it, I think, rides on. I don't think Vision. No, I don't think it's going to be Vision because I don't know that we're going to get the Vision show prior to it. And I think you need the Vision show to bring Vision back
Oh,
in.
100%. You can't have White Vision just out there
Yeah.
wondering who he is and
Yep.
all that.
So
Um,
no, don't think we're going to get him. Falcon. How about Falcon? I
oh,
think that's a yes.
yeah. Or is he just gonna be a guy in well,
He's
y-
like the conversation already kind of made it seem like Falcon would be in.
yeah. I'll agree with that because I'm picturing like Sam as like Falcon, but it's
hmm
shifted obviously now. So okay. Yep. So we'll say Falcon. Let's do a recap real quick. We've got Sam, of course. We've
Falcon.
got Falcon, Shang-Chi,
Yep.
Wong,
And Shuri.
and Shuri. That's five?
So five.
Okay. Um,
And I'm thinking that we're going to have Hawkeye as the late arrival, like late joiner
okay.
to it. So,
I'm kind of bored with this. Not our conversation with this team. I don't know if I
mhm. Oh yeah, no, it is not a, well, I don't know
oh
because,
I was gonna say Ironheart, but no, never mind.
yeah, I was going to say, do we get a James Rhodes? I don't think so.
Uh
Not on the team.
I mean he should be. I think
Yeah.
War Machine, I think he should be.
Okay.
Give give Don Cheadle
Yeah.
something for God's sakes. You ruined him, Marvel.
But he was a
Um
great scroll.
he man was he a great Skrull. He was actually a good Skrull. Like his
Yes.
attitude, I mean him playing the Skrull was great.
Yes.
Um I need more War Machine though, please.
Mhm.
So what about Elena?
Well, that's the interesting thing with I'm going to name off a number of characters right here. Yelena, Red Guardian, John Walker, Ghost, Taskmaster, and now we'll even toss in Bucky. The whole Thunderbolts team. Are they a team at the end of Thunderbolts?
I think they're gonna I kind of think they're gonna keep them separate for something else, just because of the ragtag thing they have, the darker past. John Walker, Johnny Mayonnaise, he can't be an Avenger. No way.
Right. Well, and that I think they're going to keep all the Thunderbolts separate. So I think that would
Yeah,
keep Yelena separate.
yeah.
And we're gonna have like a Thunderbolts team that maybe will show up in this movie in a smaller capacity,
Okay.
something like that.
Well, maybe we need to, do they need to pull in a cosmic, we'll say cosmic person, like somebody who's obviously not from
Thor.
Earth. So we have Thor. What about
What about well,
Monica Rambeau?
she's in another world.
Well, I mean, she'll come
I was
back
gonna
eventually.
say Star-Lord.
Okay, I have
He's
Star-Lord on my list.
Yeah, because he's back on Earth and he's going to be looking like he's going to show up when something crazy happens.
That's interesting to me. I think Star-Lord on Earth is a great juxtaposition. Is that the word I want to
Hmm.
use? Right? From what he was doing and to where he would be, I think it would
Hmm.
be perfect. Because I
Yes.
think that's interesting. And I would that would that would almost guarantee my butt's gonna be in the seat anyways, but like
Yeah.
if I was not me, I'd be like, oh, that seems kind of cool. Chris Pratt, I would love to see what he's doing. Um, so I like that idea.
Yeah. To me, I think he's a very likely choice here.
Yeah.
So, for like your cosmic S person.
I also thought like Adam Warlock, but he's
They tease that Guardians team.
yeah, so maybe they'll keep that separate.
Hmm.
Or I mean, are they really gonna keep going with that? I don't know. Like, because it's Groot and
Right.
Rocket. Like
Root
Groot would be
Rocket.
great to have as a person on the Avengers, I feel like.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, but they're off-world, so I don't think they get recruited
yeah.
for the team. Like, can they show up and help? Sure, but not part of the team.
You know what I'd love to have is Moon Knight as an Avenger.
Mhm.
I just think because he's
Mhm.
they just wouldn't know. I think it'd be
Yes.
kind of fun. It would create a little bit of uncertainty in the team,
Yeah.
I guess. But
Yeah, I think that's fairly low.
yeah, I think
Odds
fairly
of
low
having.
because yeah, he'd be more, I don't know,
Yeah.
Midnight Suns, whatever, something maybe.
Hmm.
Am I missing who have I not said yet?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Valkyrie? No,
If
but
I
she is
don't.
on Earth
She's on Earth, but she's
again.
bored running New Asgard.
Yeah, right.
So,
So
does she show up for the team? I could see her. I could see her being recruited as kind of the cosmic person on the team, and Star-Lord showing up as the cosmic person as a cosmic person joining the team. Like,
only because Valkyrie's on there because he wants to get in her pants. Is that why?
no, just
Oh.
because he would just show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah. He just shows up like, hey, I heard this is happening.
yeah,
Well, what's going on?
yep. Like, hey, I heard you're putting a team together. I'm on it now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a team anymore, so I figured
Yeah.
I'd come join this one.
Yeah. I know you guys need me. You were probably going to call me anyways.
Yeah,
So I'm here.
yeah.
I'm ready to lead.
So I do think I would say there's a decent chance Valkyrie,
Yeah. Is it okay?
because there's no other Asgardians out there besides Thor who you'd pull in. Yeah, like I'm trying to think now, who else have we missed? Because so many of the other characters, I'm like, no, you're like the Thunderbolts team. You're the Thunderbolts. So you're not going to become part of this team.
Right.
Or Young Avengers. Like Kate Bishop, as cool as that could be, I think they want her for the Young Avengers sort of thing. Do we
Yeah.
get a Young Avengers team, like as a secondary team in this?
I feel like we have to. I just because the
Not,
original Avengers again just doesn't seem that amazing. So
yeah, but I think this could lean on the RDJ back as Doom, because obviously that's going to get butts in seats. We haven't talked about the Fantastic Four, who are going to be a team likely for this movie.
yeah, I think they're going to stay separate. I think they're going to just be their Fantastic
Right.
Four-ness selves.
Right. And I'm more so saying that as we look at the Avengers team, it's not that exciting. But if we have the Fantastic Four as their own team in this, who interact with the
Okay.
Avengers, and we have RDJ as Doom, and then maybe we have Chris Chris Evans back as like Nomad from a multiverse or something like that, and we see a few other heroes that we recognize on this other world. Like if it's like Nomad and Jane Foster Thor. Um,
Yeah. Oh, I think there's going to be a ton of that.
yeah,
I've heard a little bit of
there's been a lot
rumblings,
of
right?
rumors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
about how they're going to be all these people will be coming in, but there'll be a darker version or a
right. A
another
different for
version.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I kind of recognize you. I don't think they're all gonna go with the hey, I'm evil, like
Right.
RDJ.
Yeah, but they're
Um,
there to protect their world. right?
Yes.
So it's still
Yeah.
uh I don't know. They're
Mhm.
still going to be there to defend
Yeah.
what they're I can't find the word. Blah. There it is.
Yeah.
That's all I got. You know what I'm trying to say.
They're here, they're there to defend their world and ensure its survival.
Yeah.
And
Uh
I think that will be some of the interesting question and struggle for Sam, like leading this team.
yeah.
It's like because Sam isn't going to have the mindset of only save our world. Captain Marvel, we haven't talked about her, but I'm going with no.
Really? Like I feel like I don't know why they but
As
get rid
part
of
of
the
the
character then. Like
right.
because I she's uber powerful, but
Mhm.
at the same time, quit
But
sticking around in space.
but her whole statement, like she may get recruited, is that no, like other planets don't have the Avengers, sort of thing. That
Oh,
it's the same line basically used as to why she's not on Earth the whole time during like the snap,
yeah.
working with people, is she's up in
Uh
space. So yeah, it's not the prettiest thing, but
yeah, I feel like they should not have done that character, I guess.
mhm,
Like they brought up this character and it's
yeah.
useless. They make her useless.
Yes.
Um, what about
But again, it is who does Sam Wilson put on his Avengers team, not the who's going to maybe be like she could be a major part of this movie.
yeah.
I don't think she's going to be, but she could be a major part of this movie
Poor
and
Brie.
a major character in it, but not be part of the Avengers because everybody's going to be going to Avengers Doomsday to see RDJ as Doom on screen.
Yeah.
This is just what does this team look like?
What? Okay, I thought of a couple other ones.
All right.
Ant-Man and Daredevil.
Okay.
Do you think would they bring Ant-Man? I mean,
Mm,
I feel like he's right there. He's also like Sam kind of fought him already. They have that a little bit of a, Sam doesn't really tolerate him very well, but
yeah.
which is a fun dynamic. So I feel like Scott would be. I don't think why would they not include him?
Or is he does he show up like a Star-Lord, but Ant-Man but Sam gives him something else to do. Like gives him another job and keeps him away
Right.
because
He's got to go steal something.
right, well,
I need you to go to Target. I need you to get these things
yeah.
without anybody knowing.
Or people can know, but we're just you need to go get these things from Target. Oh, wow, this list is like 60 different things.
You need
Yeah.
grapes? Why do you need like what is grapes going to do for this earth?
Don't worry about it. We need you to go get this. And while he's gone, they go off.
Yeah, they leave.
He
Um,
shows back up at the end of the movie, just there with a whole bunch of stuff.
just nibbling on grapes.
hmm
Okay. Well,
And who was your other one there? We only talked
Daredevil. Like,
Daredevil.
if you can't have Spider-Man, can you have Daredevil then?
Think there's a chance with
I
Daredevil.
mean,
Obviously, we're gonna know and probably get a better feeling for that. But yeah, I think Daredevil could end up on the team.
yeah. Okay. Um,
I'm gonna put him kind of in the tentative category.
okay. Are there any Eternals left?
I mean,
Nah, I don't think they'll do anything with
I
them.
don't think they'll
That's
do
not
anything
likely.
with, yeah, I don't think they'll do Dane Whitman. Not on an Avengers team for sure. So, because I think that's the trick is remembering as we're doing this exercise, it's hard to separate. And I think we've had the conversation 4 times now at this point. It's hard to separate the idea of, no, this is just the Avengers team, not everybody who's going to show up in Doomsday.
Right.
So we have to think about it as who is Sam Wilson going to reach out to? And I think Sam Wilson reaching out to Falcon makes a lot of sense. Shuri, a lot of sense. War Machine, ton of sense. So like those three, I think are really strong for sure's.
Yeah.
Wong, probably, because who else do they know that's a sorcerer?
Right.
Shang-Chi, I think, comes along with Wong. Like that's that's that introduction to the wider like New York-based heroes.
Yep.
And then you have Star-Lord show up to join. Like Star-Lord somehow gets word of it, and Daredevil and Hawkeye are the two who I'm just like, maybe
What about She-Hulk? I mean,
She-Hulk, yeah.
why not do something with her? Because if Hulk's got to go do brainy things,
Hmm.
She-Hulk's got the muscle. I think it'd be a great place for her to come in.
Yeah. I,
I just want them to do something better with Tatiana Maslany than what
yes.
they. So I know it's expensive, but they got it all kind of, I would think, CGI figured
It's
out.
cheaper. It's cheaper now than it was. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
Um, yeah, I wonder, uh, or is that one of those shows? Though I think the show did decently well, even if it wasn't like well beloved. I think a decent number of people watched it, at
Right.
least at the start. So
I don't know. I think people would be if they could get She-Hulk in there. I think,
yeah,
uh, yeah. Mm. It's it doesn't fit
it's
well, but like at the same time, I want it to happen, I guess.
yeah.
So
She kind of overlaps with Shang-Chi in terms of like Shang-Chi is kind of a brawler, muscle
yeah,
sort of character too. Not that you can't have overlap with that because really Hulk, Steve, brawler
right,
muscles.
right,
Even Thor, in a lot of ways, brawler muscles. He just has a hammer
right.
instead of a shield. So
Uh, so I think, okay, uh, not Namor. Never mind. I thought about Namor.
no, I don't think he shows up. Well, I'm not even sure that he shows up in Doomsday.
Unless he's part of the Cabal.
Right, unless he's the person who solves the problem at the very end of the incursion, not of Doom, but of the incursion by blowing up the other world
Oh,
in kind of a moment of haha, we've done it, like this one time thing, and then immediately for another incursion to occur or
I
something
think
like that.
I could see him like he's like if you don't have the balls to do it, I'm gonna do
Yes.
it, right? And then
Yes.
he does it, and obviously that triggers more problems. So
Yes.
I kind of like that actually, but
Hmm.
he's not an Avenger, so
No.
oh man, I
Yeah.
don't know if I have anybody else that I can really.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other recent movies here.
Howard the Duck, nope.
No.
uh,
Nebula.
Nebula, yeah,
I think they intentionally wrote her and Drax kind of out.
yep.
Mantis, but
What I got Loki on my list, but that he's not an Avenger.
no.
Red Guardian doesn't make sense.
Right, he fits on the Thunderbolts side of things.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm tapped out at this point. I don't know who, unless it's a new character of some kind that they bring in.
Yeah,
I think it just seems a little bit regurgitated. It feels like we just take one person out, then put the different person in with similar powers,
skills,
or
yeah.
yeah. And
Oh,
so, um,
well, and I do think the team is interesting
right.
with some of the characters in there. I do want to now get to your question of who doesn't make it.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick,
Yeah.
thinking back, Iron Man, Black Widow, Thor, Hulk, Captain America. Like
Okay.
when you Hawkeye, looking at them, I mean, were they super? Was Iron Man super interesting at first? Well, he was because he set things off in motion, right?
Yeah.
Thor, it was okay. Still, I'm just trying to compare what it was when
Yep.
it first happened versus what it we're anticipating the characters to be. And is it similar, or does the new version of what we're of the Avengers that we're coming up with seem weaker?
I mean, I think it seems. Oh, I didn't put down Valkyrie on the list, but I think it seems less imposing.
Okay.
Not
The
necessarily weaker.
the originals do?
No, this new one.
Okay.
This new team is definitely less imposing. You don't have like you're looking to figure out. I'm looking at this list going, who's going to have that charisma that you had with Tony Stark?
Right.
But I don't want it to necessarily be the exact same team. And
Right.
yeah, so I don't want to just like recreate it one for one.
Yeah. Okay. If well, then listeners, you got comments on that? Please let us know
Yeah.
because I we'd be very interested. I'd be very interested to know like what your
Yes.
thoughts are on who we've
Hmm.
kind of come up with so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a video off of this list that we put together for tomorrow on, well, by the time you're listening to this podcast, probably today, on the 10 Minute Marvel YouTube channel, and just kind of redo this conversation with myself in some ways and to the audience of who does Sam Wilson ask to be on his Avengers team?
Yeah,
Because like it is really tricky to not try and create a team that feels familiar or fills in not even feels familiar, but fills in certain slots.
right,
Do we need a magic user on this team? That's maybe not the right question. The question is, would Sam Wilson ask a sorcerer to join the team?
right.
Does that cross his mind as part of his Avengers team?
Yeah. Hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to get some feedback on that. Okay.
Yes.
Let's get to the final question here, I'd say.
Mhm.
Who doesn't make it?
Um, the two, maybe three, where I look at it and go like, okay, I would say it's a relatively easy. Sure, I could see you not making it. Um, War Machine,
Oh, poor
Wong,
Don. Yeah, okay.
Wong, and Star-Lord.
Really? Star-Lord
Mhm.
not making it.
Star-Lord not making it only because he's been in a considerable number of these films. Now, some of it I think you have to take into it is actor as well.
Right.
So does Don Cheadle want to keep doing this? I'm assuming he's older than Benedict Wong, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Wait, did we say Hawkeye's in? We said he's
You
in
said
later.
maybe. Yeah.
Because that was my
Hawkeye.
that was my one that I thought was gonna
Yeah.
be that he was gonna go. He was not gonna return. So
But that would be interesting too, because he was the one who almost didn't return from Vormir.
true.
So do you want to have that same thing? And the question I think remains too is like he has a family. So do you want to kill off the person with the family with young kids?
I mean, if you want to shed some tears and pull some
Yes.
heartstrings, right? Then that's your guy.
Yeah. But
'Cause
yeah.
um yeah, I see what you're saying. Like does
Don,
he get to retire to be with his family finally?
hmm
Right? Does he maybe he I don't know. Who are your other ones you said that would not?
So besides Star-Lord, I said War
Wong.
Machine and
Okay.
Wong. So Benedict Wong is 53, by the way. Um, Don Cheadle is 60. Jeremy Renner is 54.
Uh, if it's not going to be Hawkeye, I feel like it would be Don Cheadle. It'd be War Machine.
Mhm. Yeah. Now, I will also say, though, playing War Machine means that you don't have to do the physical stuff because
Uh,
you're in a heads-up display, like we saw with Tony Stark
right.
in the costume, and it can be anybody in like doing the mocap, and it's costumes obviously or the suits CGI, and then you're walking around in a military suit otherwise. So it's a role that can continue longer, and who knows about Armor Wars?
Yeah, I was gonna say it still seems like it's gonna be Hawkeye or War Machine to me. Like
Hmm.
Star-Lord, I don't want that. I could see what you're saying if Chris Pratt's kind of wanting to be done and over with that, but I I think he's too young to want to be to drop out at this point. Or for them, I think there's more they can do with him that
Hmm.
still be interesting.
So another character that, uh, like, we're obviously talking about the people that we put on this team. It doesn't have to be somebody on this team to give you that emotional punch of their death. Because what about Chris Hemsworth
Hmm.
as Thor? Because he's been, I remember there was kind of that conversation when I forget what the diagnosis was for him.
Oh yeah, if it was dementia or Alzheimer's or something like that
It
was
was,
in genes, I think.
yeah. And does he want to do that more, take a step back
Yeah,
and
right.
not act as much? And I mean, Marvel movies, even if I mean, they'd probably do a Thor 5 in the next 3 years. And then he would be back for another Avengers film 2 years after that. He would be constantly doing Avengers stuff. Does he want to do more other stuff?
Yeah. Do we need more like do we need more
Thor?
Thor? Is it
Right. Well, there was a quote that I didn't pull. Let me see if I can find it here.
I want more Thor. Just to be,
Yeah.
I think I like Chris Hemsworth. I like what they do with
Yes.
Thor. I think he's funny, and uh, I think there's stuff you can do with him still that Hemsworth can
Mhm.
still perform it and
Yes.
do well with it. But
Yeah, I'm trying to find the quote here. Well, Joe Russo was asked if the Scarlet Witch will return in Avengers Doomsday, and he just said, "We shall see." Um,
but she's not an Avenger.
right. Where's the line? Where's the quote? I know it's somewhere here. But it was basically Brad Winderbaum. Oh, here we go. Brad Winderbaum on the possibility of a full MCU reboot after Avengers Secret Wars. And he says you can't fully reboot anything. It's very difficult to do a living, breathing fictional universe just to start from scratch because of all the investment, all the fan investment and love for the stories that have come so far.
Mm,
So that doesn't mean that you can't reboot some of the characters too. And so
yeah,
I think like a Thor, well, I love Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Sure, maybe that's a character if he's looking to get out, you can reboot and recast. You can have the farewell to him.
yeah. But if he's not looking for that, I
Yeah,
say
I'd let him go. Yeah, I'd let him
they'll keep
keep
him
it going.
going. Yeah,
Yeah. And yeah, it's kind of like there's been more kind of rumor things popping up about recasting T'Challa
yeah.
or a new T'Challa. And it's just like that's the great thing about this living, breathing universe that now has this multiverse moment
Mhm.
is you can recast. You can pick those few characters who didn't get their true time to shine and that you want to bring back.
Yeah. Yep.
Like Quicksilver.
Yes. Bring him back.
hmm But that
Didn't see
is
that coming.
that is a honestly, it's a tougher conversation than I was expecting
Uh-huh.
for this. And I think it was a tougher conversation because of the fact that it's so hard to put yourself in that mindset as we create this team, not thinking, okay, who's going to be in Doomsday, but to think who would Sam Wilson ask to be on his team.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think that's just, it's really easy to say, like, yes, that character is going to be in Doomsday. And we'll probably be right because most of the characters will be in Doomsday and most of the characters will be in Secret Wars.
Hmm.
But who is an official Avenger? And I guess one final question for you, Greg.
Shoot.
Does this new Avengers team exist at the start of Doomsday? Or does Sam put it together like during the movie? Kind of like we got with the first Avengers film.
Oh.
I
Uh,
mean, I can answer my own question if you so desire.
I feel like it's got to be done. I mean, are they gonna really want to have us go through the corralling up of all these people, or do they just want to say, have Sam go, here's my picks, right? So is
Mhm.
it, I don't know, but I don't know where you do that. I don't know where you
Uh,
have him corral up all these different
yeah, well,
Avengers.
yeah, it has to be in.
Unless unless it's like, yeah, like, okay, we have this big thing happening. I need to get some people. And then it's like the collection point, right? Like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm going to get Shang-Chi. I'm gonna go grab
Right. Or like I'm gonna go grab Wong. He tells me to stop on the way and grab Shang-Chi.
yeah.
Um, Shuri's already contacted me because we know each other. Like all these, I think it's going to be different than what we saw in the first Avengers movie because those people didn't know each other
Hmm.
with the
Yeah.
exception of like Shang-Chi, what Shuri, War Machine, Star-Lord, Wong, and Sam all know each other. So I guess from our list, oh, Valkyrie would know them too.
Right.
So from our list, Daredevil, Shang-Chi, and Falcon don't know everybody, but Falcon knows Sam and War Machine already.
Right.
So it's not like we're creating this group of, we don't have to have that Coulson dying moment
Right.
to bring the team
To pull
together.
them all together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think they could do it that way. It,
Mhm.
I know a guy. Well, I know this girl, this
Yep.
woman, whatever. I know these two.
Yep.
So, yeah,
I do think that we're going to get a nice moment maybe of ooh, and I this could be what we where we how we get in Mockingbird. Hawkeye, he goes to Hawkeye as one of the first people, like reaches out to Hawkeye, and Hawkeye says, "No, no, I have my family. I'm retired. I have a new Hawkeye in training. I uh, this isn't my fight anymore, Sam. I'm sorry." But then we have, like, I've always spoken about it as our Avengers going to another planet. What if it's another planet's Avengers or Illuminati coming to us? And so something comes to Earth and it's a bigger attack than just on New York City. And that gets Hawkeye and Mockingbird. So we actually see Mockingbird into a fight. Like they join
sure.
a fight in a different area. I kind of like that idea better than our Avengers going somewhere else. But and then you have Namor go rogue and
Yeah,
blow up the other planet while their Avengers are still fighting on our Earth.
right, right. But yeah, but
But
that's still
it's
like she's not Mockingbird. Still would be an Avenger.
Avenger. But we could see the character then at that
True.
point. We
Yeah,
get that payoff of the hint of who she was in the past.
yeah.
And then I think you could have a very nice death for Hawkeye if he saves her in the fight.
Okay.
So Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye, I think that's a fairly likely chance he's gonna die.
I
Sorry.
I'm almost leaning back to Don Cheadle. Like I think that War Machine's gonna be it. Like it, but it seems like it's only because it's less painful.
Hmm.
That sounds terrible, but I mean, I just from a character perspective and with the actor, it just feels less. It's still impactful,
Hmm.
but not like brutal
Hmm.
like it would be with Hawkeye because Hawkeye's family,
Yes.
I think is really and
But I do think that that is a good way to up the stakes
true.
from what we saw in Infinity War,
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
especially because we knew those characters were snapped. They were coming back for the most
Yeah,
part,
yeah.
with the exception of Loki, and then they still brought Loki back. So it, like, I guess
Nobody
it was,
really dies, so
well, except until Endgame, when we had that super emotional moment
yeah.
with Iron Man. So do they try and double up on that?
Who also had a daughter and a wife.
Yes. Yep.
So
So that, yeah, do they try and double up on that and go, all right, we hit you like with kind of the shock of everybody disappearing. I guess the shock at the end of Doomsday is just going to be like, and Earth is no more. The
yeah, I mean
MC
that's
universe is gone. We got rid of half of everybody the first time. Well, we're
yep.
leaving you at the end of this one. Everybody's gone.
I mean that's pretty high stakes if you ask me.
Yeah.
So
Harder to
that's a
come back from.
cliffhanger.
Yes. All right. But let us know your thoughts. You can do that over on YouTube. Search for 10 Minute Marvel. Fi- Drop the comments there on the podcast. Or, like I said, I'm going to be doing a video on this for tomorrow. And Greg gave a few ways you can help support the podcast in the beginning, but we also have a Patreon, patreon.com/nerdologists. The funds go to help improve the quality of this podcast, as well as the Lonesome Eagles YouTube channel, 10 Minute Marvel YouTube channel, and nerdologists.com website. But with that, see you next time.
Avengers.